When you think of great American brands, there's always one brand that dominates their particular market. There's always one brand that stands above the rest. When you need to blow your nose, you ask for a Kleenex. Down here in the South, when you want a soda, you don't say, "I want a pop, please." You ask for a Coke. Branding, it even crosses over into sports. The Yankees, synonymous with Major League Baseball, the Cowboys in the NFL, the Lakers, the Celtics in the NBA. For decades, whether you drink it or not, when people thought of beer, the dominant brand was Budweiser, Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch. Budweiser, the king of beers. Not anymore. You might as well change that slogan to Budweiser, the fake dancing queen of beers. I don't know if I have ever seen a brand crash this hard, this fast. This is why it is so important. It's critical to know who you're hiring. This is why it's critical to not allow the woke fungus to infect your business. If I were running a company, I would make it mandatory to ask the following question during the interview process. Are you a proud member of Woke United Methodist? If the answer is yes, you give the candidate a complimentary cucumber and have them banned from the building. Unfortunately for Bud Light, they did the complete opposite. And to the surprise of no one, they are now facing the consequences. Alissa Heinerscheid, maybe I'm pronouncing that right, don't really care. Alissa Heinerscheid is a proud graduate of Woke U Cambridge, better known as Harvard. Strike one. On her LinkedIn profile, she informs her followers that she prefers she/her pronouns. Strike two. I really don't understand this one. After seeing her picture, it took me less than 1 second to confirm Alissa is a woman. It's not like this was a picture of Bobby Griner where the results could be inconclusive. If you based your judgment off of appearance, Alissa Heinerscheid appears to be a normal woman. As the old saying goes, you can't judge a shitfuck by its cover. Last spring, going into her interview for the Senior Director of Communications position at Bud Light, Alissa, she already had 2 strikes against her. Now, this should have been grounds for automatic disqualification. This is not Major League Baseball. There aren't 3 strikes here. When it comes to graduates of Woke U, you get 1 chance, you get 1 strike. Executives at Bud Light, they saw it differently. They did not see this as 2 strikes. They saw this as 2 cucumbers. If she nails the interview, she hits the woke trifecta, which means we get to celebrate by tag teaming the Frank. Alissa, she ends up hitting the woke trifecta, ends up getting the job at Bud Light. Last June, she is promoted to Vice President of Marketing. Alissa must be one hell of a griller. My inside sources tell me executives at Bud Light, they have this affinity for the grilled woke wiener. This promotion to Vice President of Marketing qualified as a first for Bud Light, and you guys know how much the Wanker Spankers love a first. For the first time in 41 years, Bud Light, they had a woman leading a division of the company. Where did she lead them? Right to the woke cemetery. Once she was promoted, Alissa hit the ground running. This brand is in decline. Consumers of our products are infected with toxic masculinity. We need to be more refined. We need to be more elegant. Elegant? Refined? This is not top shelf liquor. This is not a $1,000 bottle of champagne. This is beer. This is a product marketed to men. This is a product marketed to college kids. Alissa, she wanted to change all of that. She felt the marketing strategy at Bud Light didn't meet the standards of diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's antiquated. A couple of weeks ago, Heinerscheid explained her marketing strategy. Now, this interview was conducted during the height of the Dylan Mulvaney controversy. This was part of Bud Light's damage control. They sent Heiner out to explain to the uneducated plebes why Bud Light hired Dylan Mulvaney to promote their brand. Watch for yourself.
This brand is in decline. It's been in decline for a really long time. And if we do not attract young drinkers to come and drink this brand, there will be no future for Bud Light. So I had this super clear mandate. It's like we need to evolve and elevate this incredibly iconic brand. And what I brought to that was a belief in, okay, what does evolve and elevate mean? It means inclusivity. It means shifting the tone. It means having a campaign that's truly inclusive and feels lighter and brighter and different and appeals to women and to men.
Mm-hmm.
And representation is at sort of the heart of evolution. You've got to see people who reflect you in the work. And we had this hangover. I mean, Bud Light had been kind of a brand of fratty, kind of out of touch humor.
I thought it was interesting that she was so worried about the decline of Bud Light. She does not have to worry about that decline anymore. Bud Light is no longer in decline. The Titanic has officially sunk. 2 weeks after this interview, Alissa took a mysterious leave of absence. Translation: Bud Light is afraid to fire her because she checks far too many woke boxes. If there is a group in this country that deserves to be fired, it is the entire marketing department at Bud Light. The infamous commercial with Dylan Mulvaney, it was released on April 1st. So Yesterday was the exciting 1-month anniversary for this power couple. In the span of 30 days, Dylan Mulvaney managed to tank yearly sales of Bud Light by 30%. The week ending April 15th, Bud Light sales declined by 21%. Now at that point, the Dylan Mulvaney controversy had reached the 2-week mark. We live in a 24-hour news cycle where something can be major news one day and forgotten the next. Surely, after 2 weeks, beer-drinking rednecks, they would have forgotten about Dylan Mulvaney, returning to their habitual toxic masculinity and start drinking Bud Light again, right? The following week, Bud Light sales declined by 26%. Public perception of the company is so deep in the shitter, the woke media has started to criticize them. Headline over at CNN: Bud Light wanted to market to all. Instead, they are alienating everyone. This is another example of the media giving you partial truths. This headline's partially true, which is par for the course of the mainstream media. Bud Light, they were not trying to market to everyone. They're alienating everyone, but the strategy was not to market to everyone. Bud Light was marketing to a small segment of the population. Specifically, they were marketing to members of Woke United Methodist. You heard Alissa Heinerscheid say in that clip, we want to be more inclusive. We want to reach a younger demographic. Translation: we want to indoctrinate America's youth. Of course, the plan backfired. This plan always backfires when a major corporation decides to be baptized and born again, spreading their renewed faith to the world. CNN interviewed an associate professor from Drexel University. The professor's comments, they really show this divide between academic elites on campuses at Woke U and normal people. Most of these academic elites, they have never run an actual business. They're like politicians. They want to tell you how to run your business with no experience running one themselves. This professor at Drexel said, people are more interested than ever before in the underlying values of their brands. When he says values, he's talking about politics. The thing is, this should not be the case. 10 years ago, did anyone give a shit about Bud Light's political leaning? When you're at the grocery store buying groceries, are you saying to yourself, I wonder what Blue Bunny ice cream thinks about men becoming women? Hell, the way things are today, the damn bunny is probably hoping all men will donate their carrots. But most normal people, they don't think that way. Most normal people, we're not concerned about the political leanings of brands. Today, it's become part of a culture war. Why? Why do you think that's the case? Seriously. Because these major corporations put themselves in this position. April 14th, the CEO of Anheuser-Busch released a statement hoping to mitigate the damage to his brand. We never intended to be part of a discussion that divides people. We are in the business of bringing people together over beer. No, that is the business you used to be in. Today, you're in the business of maintaining your ESG score. Today, you're in the business of spreading propaganda. That statement is complete bullshit. If you never intended to be part of the discussion, why did you hire Dylan Mulvaney? You had to know this would make you part of the discussion. You had to know there would be backlash. You probably didn't think the backlash would be this severe or last this long, but you had to know it was coming. Do you guys ever watch Shark Tank? Sometimes when I'm on the road, I'll play clips of Shark Tank here on YouTube. Oftentimes, the sharks, they will focus on two things: customer acquisition cost and customer retention. They want to know how much these companies are spending to obtain their customers and how many of those customers remain loyal to the company once they're acquired. People are very habitual. Take me for example. I wake up every morning, I go get the same brand of coffee. I drink one brand of liquor, one brand of beer. And no, it's not Bud Light and never has been. Sunday afternoons during the fall, I'm watching NFL Red Zone. We all have daily routines. We all have habits that develop over time. This is what businesses rely on. They rely on our habits because they know if you ever develop a habit with their brand, it's unlikely to be broken. The unintended consequences of Bud Light associating themselves with Dylan Mulvaney, they broke their customers' habits and their trust. Those customers, they didn't stop drinking beer. They started drinking different beer. Sales for both Miller Lite and Coors Light up double digits. Once you lose a customer, especially when they feel like you've betrayed them, it is almost impossible to get them back. Same thing's happening right now with Fox News. Viewing habits were broken when they fired Tucker Carlson. Those viewers, they didn't stop consuming news. They just started watching different people on different platforms. There is an underlying issue here. Something is going on behind the scenes. We keep seeing these major corporations allowing themselves to be infected with the woke fungus, flaunting their wokeness for everyone to see. The end result's always the same. Happened to the NBA, happened to late night television, happening right now to Bud Light. The people running these billion-dollar corporations, they are not stupid. Alissa Heinerscheid, she's no dummy. You don't graduate from Harvard and Wharton by being a certified dumbass. There is a deeper reason for this. There is a reason we keep seeing these major brands promote a lifestyle that most of their customer base either doesn't understand or doesn't agree with. Now, I have my suspicions, but I can't be sure. Maybe you guys know. You tell me the reason. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, kc_btl84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.